Most men are forgettable. They lack presence, confidence, and the ability to walk in alignment with who they truly are. What's good, fellas? Welcome back to another video. In this video, guys, I'm gonna be breaking down 5 signs that you are a rare man. Now let's get right into it like I always do, man. The first sign that you are a rare man is you have unshakable confidence in a world that is uncertain. Now, most men are uncertain of themselves, especially high achievers, especially men that are already in positions of leadership. Now, to you, this might sound counterintuitive or this might sound contradictory, right? How is a man that is a high achiever, how is a man that is perhaps an entrepreneur, a man that is in leadership, a man that is in, high esteem, in a high position, how is this man uncertain? What I've come to realize is that the men who are in these high positions are oftentimes the most insecure. You see, you have to develop a certain type of ego to be able to aggrandize yourself and make it to certain levels. And typically that comes from men who, in their childhood, they had certain issues, so they had to overwork to become where they are. But here's the thing. Most men that are in positions of leadership still have insecurities. You can't run from it, fellas. You cannot. So one clear sign that you are a rare man is if you are absolutely self-assured and certain of yourself. Now, I want to be clear. You being self-assured and certain of yourself doesn't mean that you don't ever feel insecure or that you don't ever have any doubts. Rather, you can work through those because you have the awareness to identify that and immediately laser focus and start attacking that so that you can polish up that sector of your mind, that sector of your life. What I've come to realize is that most men second guess themselves because there's a discrepancy between who they're portraying themselves to be, the position that they're at, and who they really are. A rare man trusts his decision, trusts himself, doesn't need to seek external validation like most people do. Now, you might ask me, Dudley, why do most people need to seek external validation? Well, it's intrinsic, right? If you look at how human beings evolved, we were tribal, right? And so one way to survive was to just fit in with your tribe, fit in socially. To have a contrarian thought, to have an opposite thought, right? Or to be verbal with something that you disagreed with meant that you had to defend that thought through what? Physicality, through violence. So innately, even though we like to act like we're so sophisticated, we're in our high-rise buildings, we're still very primitive. And so most men are afraid to speak out, are afraid to be different, are afraid to be themselves and accept themselves, right? So we seek validation and we lack trust in ourselves to make decisions, second guessing ourselves. Am I really doing this correctly? Can I do this? But the rare man moves with what, fellas? Conviction, brevity. The rare man understands himself and will bet on himself 9 times, if not 10 times out of 10. So if you are not a man that bets on yourself, if you are not a man that doesn't fully trust your decisions, that doesn't feel comfortable with your leadership, right? You could be making a lot of money right now. You could be an executive, right? You can be a quote unquote boss, but deep down, you probably question yourself sometimes. Am I making the right decision? Am I making the right decision leading my family? Did I make the right decision moving us to this city? Did I make the right decision doing this, doing that? If you're doubting yourself, you're like everybody else, and you're not a rare man. The rare man is a man that can relax in his decision making and find peace. Even if he fucks up, he made a decision, he committed to it, and he's at rest with it. He doesn't beat himself up. Number 2, the second sign that you are a rare man is that you have mastery over self-sabotage. Fellas, most men are procrastinating or they're playing too small because they're afraid of what's going to happen. And this fear comes from the ego. The ego wants to feel superior. So anytime that you embark on a new endeavor and you're doing something that's scary, even and especially when that scary direction and scary step that you're taking is towards the exact life that you said you wanted. You said you wanted that life, but now that it's time to take those steps, for some odd reason, you're procrastinating, you're doubting yourself. And it's because you haven't mastered yourself yet. You still self-sabotage. You feel like an imposter. right? I told you guys the story about when I first started earning a certain amount of money back in 2021, and my lifestyle completely changed, and I wasn't used to making that kind of money because I came from a poor background, right? I caught myself self-sabotaging, asking myself, am I worth this amount of money? And because of that, I went back down to my baseline, and my baseline was being broke and poor, sleeping on the couch, driving Uber. That was my baseline. That was my current paradigm. That's what I accepted. I hadn't mastered myself yet. I hadn't mastered self-sabotage yet. If you're procrastinating or putting things off, it's because you don't believe that you can really do what you say that you want. You're just talking about it. I can't tell you how many guys I talk to. Guys get on calls with me and I just ask them simple questions. You guys want the idea, you're infatuated with the idea of the man that you can become, but you don't want to take the necessary steps to become that man. You're what we call a mental masturbator. You constantly sabotage yourself. And so enjoy normality. Fellas, I want to make something clear. There's nothing wrong with being normal. But the thing is, you guys watch my videos or you watch other content creators in the self-improvement space. You probably read books. You're probably watching podcasts. You do all these things to lie to yourself and make yourself feel like you're doing a good job, like you're actually improving. But the truth is, the only way you're going to improve is to take radical action. That's the only way. You can read books all day. You can watch my videos all day. You can do cold showers and cold plunge and winter arc and summer arc and no fap and all this bullshit all day, all year. But until you take radical action and you stop self-sabotaging yourself and you seek awareness and figure out, why am I sabotaging myself? Oh, I'm sabotaging myself because I don't believe I can fucking do it. Why don't I believe I can do it? Well, fellas, like I said, you're gonna have to sit your ass down in silence and take a deep dive into your mind and say, okay, when I was 7, this happened. When I was 9, this happened. Now I'm a 35, 39, 45, whatever year-old man. I'm a 50-year-old man and I'm still a little boy because I self-sabotage. I haven't healed that part of my childhood, that part of my psyche. Fellas, this is an internal game. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what goal you want to achieve. That goal is not outside of you. It's an internal game. And a second sign that you are a rare man is if you've mastered your internal self-talk, the doubts, the self-sabotage, procrastination, playing small. I'll just do this because it's easy. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to buy that camera and start my YouTube channel. I'm not going to reach out to that prospect because I'm afraid that they might say no. I'm not going to raise my prices because then I won't get any clients. I'm not going to pitch this CEO this. I'm not going to walk up to the girl because I might get denied. I'm not going to just send her that DM so I can get this shit off of my mind. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go to the gym consistently for 6 months so I can get in shape, so I can start feeling better about myself because I'm a fat fuck. Nah, I'm not going to get in the octagon. I'm not going to go to the boxing gym and learn how to defend myself because I might get punched in the face. And so what if you do fucking get punched in the face, bitch? What if you do? What if you die? What if your mom dies? What if you get killed? What if you get your fucking leg amputated? What if? All that shit is possible. But so is you fucking becoming the man you said you wanted to. I fucking hate weak men. And I used to hate myself. I used to hate myself because I was a bitch. I was a coward. And I had to fortify myself and dive deep into my mind and make myself idiosyncratic. I had to address my cowardice and my lackluster performance. I used to say I wanted to be a speaker, but I was afraid because I had a stutter. And it wasn't until I started putting myself in uncomfortable situations that I became a speaker by trade, and now I get paid to speak all over the world. My clients are all over the world, and it's a privilege and it's an honor. But I would have never been able to experience this privilege and honor unless I faced myself and became a rare man. All by becoming certain of myself, all by doing the work, all by diving deep and admitting that I was a little bitch. All by admitting that I was a pussy. And a lot of you gentlemen watching this video right now, you think because you make a lot of money, you think because you have certain accolades, you think that because you've done something, in your mind, you think you've done enough, and you haven't. You gotta check your ego, fellas. I check mine every day. You gotta make it a habit to check yourself, temperature check. Am I really walking in alignment with the rare man that I know I said I wanted to be? Am I seeking validation? And the third thing that makes a man rare is that you command respect without seeking it. You see, most men shrink in social settings and business settings. Most men shrink, they miniaturize. But if you can have the presence to you, an uncanny, rather peculiar presence at times that commands respect, you're a rare man without having to try too much, trying to prove that you're a tough guy, trying to prove that you're competent. Most men need to peacock. The rare man rests in the fact that he knows who he is off of the strength of his character. He's done the work that I mentioned previously, that visceral work that most men won't do. And so he trusts himself. So he can play, he can joke around. It's almost like he doesn't care when he's in important rooms. It's not that he doesn't care. It's that he's certain of himself. And his presence commands respect. And this is something that you can only feel. I can't just sit here and talk to you about this on camera. It's something that you feel when you're in person, when you're around somebody like that. You guys can watch all my videos and still not understand what I'm saying right here. It's a sensation. And here's the thing. Until you finally face yourself, you see, this game is an inner game, like I said, fellas. Until you finally face yourself, you're not going to be this man. You can try to watch all the videos in the world. You can try to work on your social cues. You can watch my videos on how to speak and be a better magnetic speaker and orator. You can work on your game with women. You can work on your style. You can look max and you can do everything that all these little bitch ass niggas are doing. You could do all of that, and you still won't command respect. You could become a good fighter. You could become a good fighter. You can learn how to fight. That don't mean somebody's gonna respect you, contrary to popular belief, right? Oh, what? You're gonna impose your physical dominance on somebody? Somebody can still shoot you. You see, there's a certain respect that a man who has faced himself commands without imposing it on other people. It's a nonchalantness. It's a kindness. You're kind, even though you're capable of carnage, right? It's not just about being tough, right? It's not just about being able to inflict violence. It's about you being the complete package as a man. You not even needing to flex, because at the end of the day, a superior man doesn't need to flex his muscle. I'll say it again, a superior man doesn't need to flex his muscle. Some of the most vicious men are the kindest. They're the sweetest fathers, the most loving husbands. Why is that? They know who they are. They don't have to prove it. All that to say, if people don't naturally respect you when you walk in a room, if people don't naturally look at you and reverence and revere you, you're not a rare man. And all that means is that you have to start working on yourself. It's not that you're seeking validation. It's that if people don't respond to you a certain way that you would like them to, you might want to take a look at yourself. And that's the beauty of life. Life is a mirror. If you're not getting what you want, it's because you're not who you need to be internally. Ooh, that's the beauty of this game, fellas. If you're not getting and seeing what you want in this reality, it's because internally you're not who you need to be. And this is the truth that most men don't want to face, because that means everything is on you. And most men like to make excuses and put things off on other people. Oh, I'm black, so I don't have this opportunity. Or I'm from a third world country, I don't have this opportunity. Oh man, I'm this, I'm that. I'm 5'5", I'm 5'6", I'm not this, I'm not that. I can't do this, I can't do that. Shut the fuck up. You guys love to make excuses for your inadequacy, for your insufficiency. You got to work with the cards that life has dealt you and improve in any way possible. And when you do this work on yourself and you fight this war in your own mind, when you walk in the room, you don't need to flex. You don't need validation from other people. You validate yourself. You know, I told myself I was going to get up at 6 a.m. I got up at 5:45 and I hit the gym. Every day. Not for anybody else, myself. So when you talk to me with some respect because I respect myself. And I don't even need to impose that on you. That's just a standard I have for myself. And if you don't speak to me a certain way, you no longer have access to me. I remove access. Simple. And that type of self-assuredness is what makes you command respect. Which leads me to number 4. The fourth thing that makes a man rare is he does the work even when nobody is watching. We live in a world of espectáculos, shows, personas, persona, putting on a mask, social media, the cameras are out. Everybody's doing something for something. Everybody's putting on a front. But deep down, when you get alone, are you taking those steps? Are you taking those actions that align with that version of you? Are you doing what you need to be done? Are you slipping a little bit? Are you going off track a little bit? Huh? It's okay to go off track a little bit. We're not robots. But are you checking yourself? Are you holding yourself accountable? You see, this is what makes a man rare, when he can keep his promise to himself. You guys will sit here and say you want all these things. I want a beautiful woman. I want a woman that's this, cooks, cleans, low body count, all this stuff. I want to live in this house. I want to get my mom this. I want to be able to travel all over the world, Dudley. I hear you guys, right? I want to be able to travel all over the world. I want to speak multiple languages like you do, Dud. I think that shit is dope. How you be switching in and out of languages, how you travel all over the world and do all this shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Yeah, that shit is cool, but it's the work. It's the work. It's the journey. You don't see me sitting here for an hour every day studying this new language and then going out and fucking up the words and practicing and conversing. You don't see me working on my mind. You don't see me sitting in the shower. All right, Dud, what we gonna do, man? We gotta get better. I love you so much. Let me take some time to tell myself that I love myself because right now I'm fighting war. I'm battling in my mind. Mom's getting older. Dad's getting older. It's up to you. I gotta take care of this bill by the 15th for her. But fuck, I gotta take care of my bill and da-da-da. My chick is nagging me. Yeah. I still gotta do the work. Even when nobody is watching. Because at the end of the day, it's always been on us men. Pa que quejamos? We don't complain, we produce. And nobody want to hear a sob story. If you're able to do the work when nobody is watching, huh? If you're able to do the work when nobody is watching consistently, bitch, we're not talking about just for 2 weeks, just for a month, just for a year, until you die. Until you die. You commit to getting 1%, even if it's 0.5%, even if it's 0.25% better every day. You're moving forward and doing the work every single day, iterating, figuring out, failing forward, trying this. Fuck, my whole world is coming down on me. What am I gonna do? I tell you what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna sit here like a bitch and not take a step forward. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna take a shot. Even if it's from the parking lot, I'm taking a shot. Why? Because you miss 100% other shots you don't take. A lot of guys like to self-sabotage and defeat themselves. You kill yourself before you even draw your own blade. You're in mental purgatory. Yeah, you don't do the work. And you know you don't do the work. Ask yourself this question. If everybody in the world right now had to adopt your daily habits for life, would the world be a better place or not? Unequivocally, I can answer that. Yes, for me. How about you? Comment down below. It's not a secret, fellas. You know why you're not where you want to be. So you can watch my videos all you want. You know why you're not where you want to be, where you need to be, why you can't produce for your family, why you're a fraction of the man that you need to be. Oh, yeah. A rare man does the work regardless of how he feels. I be having days where I be fucked up mentally, bro. I do my detachment meditation, I do my visualization, and I take a step forward. Oh, that's a victory, Dud. Salute. I respect myself so much more. I love myself so much more. So when that little shitty day pass, I wake up the next day recharged. Why? Because I respect myself. Because I did what I needed to do. I honored my commitment to myself. And can't nobody take that away from you, fellas. Nobody could take that away from you. So you walk with a different presence. You walk with a different aura. You're magnetic. Why? Because you ain't cheat the game. You ain't cheat the process. You didn't cheat yourself. You didn't cheat yourself. Everything you want, you have to first become. You want respect, you got to respect yourself. Simple. And number 5, the 5th thing that makes you a rare man is that you fully own your identity. You see, I'm a weird guy, right? I'm a Haitian American, right? Weird dude that likes to live in different countries and do different shit. That traditionally, I was called a white boy for having certain interests. The ignorance of people is baffling. I like to do different things, experience different things, different cultures, learn from people. I like to be in Iceland in a barn at 3 a.m. with 200 Vikings. I like to be ducked off in a little village in Italy for 4 months, learning about stoicism for no reason. I might fly to Arkansas next week for no reason, just because I've never been. And I'm not even in the USA, just because I want to. I'm weird, but I walk in alignment with who I am. A rare man doesn't care what people think about him in terms of his personality. He's able to accept himself and be himself fully with all his quirks, right? And all his peculiar nature. Most people try to conform to what the world wants. You like rock music, but because you're black, that's unacceptable. So you don't show that side of you. Oh, you're white. You like certain things about African-American culture, but you don't want to show it because, maybe your social circle doesn't approve of that. Who the fuck cares whatever you are? Just be that. I'll say it again. Who the fuck cares whatever you are? Just be that. You guys are prisoners to yourself, prisoners by your mind, suffering in your mind when your mind should be silenced. So the 5th thing that makes you rare is you being able to fully accept yourself and your identity for your entirety. My brother, it's time to free yourself. It is time to free yourself. Before you can become free in this external world, you need to become free up here first. And until you do that, you'll just be going around in circles, right back where you started, and to no avail, being able to experience the fruits of a man that has autonomy over his life. If you're struggling with finding solace in your mind, it's because you don't respect yourself. You don't know yourself good enough. You don't love yourself, especially the high achievers that face self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, especially the entrepreneurs and the corporate execs, the people that are supposed to be in high positions facing self-sabotage. You don't know yourself. And you need to get real honest about it because you're never going to make it to that next level, whatever it is that you seek, until you get to know yourself and you master this right here. I've already produced, I don't know how many videos showing you guys how to overcome yourself and self-sabotage in order to finally maximize your potential. If you need the help, press that first link in my description or the comment section. Let's get on the call, me and you and my team, and let's see if it makes sense for us to work together.